What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. Now, it's been a little while since I last made a vlog. I don't actually know how long, but you know, I'm one of these people that I massively get into the swing of things, and I massively get into motivated for stuff, doing it, I'm all in, and this is what tends to happen with the vlog, and then something happens that throws me off. I don't know, I think it's because I'm pretty convinced that I've got ADHD, so although I've been thinking about making this particular vlog episode for ages and piecing it together in my head, and tomorrow's going to be the day that I do it, and then I don't do it because I get sidetracked and I get overwhelmed and I do other things, and then I think maybe I should focus on that, and then I think, oh my god, making the episode is just going to be so long. But anyway, here we are. Finally, I took the leap of right, I need to make this episode. And now once this happens and I put this episode out there, I get back into the swing and the habit and the rhythm of doing it again, until probably inevitably something else comes up, and for whatever reason I don't put out one for a while, and then I blow off the boil, and I'm kind of doing what I'm doing now, which is kind of talking about something that's completely irrelevant and not what we're here for to talk about in this video. So anyway, getting back to the point, just had to open the windows because it is so hot in here. It's ridiculous. Getting back to the point, this vlog episode is going to be all about what I am doing at this current moment in time to get in shape for the summer. You see, I'm one of these people, or at least I have been probably since becoming a dad and running my own business and stuff, that I'm crazy busy. Exercise has always been part of my life. That's why I do it for a living as well, help other people. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about. But what often happens is over the winter, like a lot of people, I regain a little bit of puppy fat, a bit of body fat, and then come the summer, I kind of want to strip that back. You see, now here's the thing, during the winter, I'm not particularly that bothered about being in incredible shape. But when I say incredible shape, I mean a visible six-pack. Everyone's definition of an incredible shape might be different depending on what your start point is. Now, I tend to gain a little bit of weight back over the winter because, I'm covered up. I tend to be a little bit more relaxed with my diet. I never go silly crazy, but I maybe, put on anywhere between half a stone and a stone. So now it's the summertime and it's getting close to a holiday, and I'm going to be seen more with my top off. There's going to be pictures more with my top off, and I want to feel a little bit more comfortable. So what normally happens is I get to the point where I'm round here. This is where I gain most of my kind of unwanted body fat when I've gained a bit of weight, which is probably kind of like most men really, the love handles, bit around the belly. And I start to notice it, particularly when I'm sitting in the car and I put the seatbelt across and I'm like, wow, that's digging in. The little bit that goes across here, that's digging in a little bit more than normal. And then I start to notice it when I'm sitting down. And that's when it's kind of okay, it's time to kind of rein things back in a little bit. So what I've kind of decided to do in this video is just run you through what exactly I'm doing at the moment to try and get in shape. And when I say get in shape, what I'm aiming to do leading up to my summer holiday is lose about a stone, mainly hopefully around that kind of midsection, see the abdominals a little bit more when the holiday comes along, and I'll be a pretty happy guy. So first things first, when it comes to this diet, it's about seeing where I'm currently at. So to start off with, it's taking a recording of the weight and then also taking some progress pictures. So at the start of this diet, I'm starting at 13.11 and I want to get down to about 13 stone, if that's necessary. This is where the progress pictures come into play. So at the moment, I'm taking weekly progress pictures to track the progress, because sometimes the scales and how you actually look don't always add up. You might have only lost 3 pounds over the course of 4 weeks according to the scales, but actually when you compare the week 1 to the week 4 photo, there is a significant difference between the two that looks like you've lost a stone. This is where I think it's hugely important to make sure that if you are going on a diet, that you are doing both, tracking your weight, tracking progress pictures, as well as other things like habits and, are you doing better than you was before, and looking back at how far you've come, and also tracking your exercises, your workouts, are you pushing yourself enough there? That stuff's all important as well, but from actually seeing if you're heading in the right direction, the weights, scales, and progress photos. Now, I weigh myself every single day, and I take a note of that every single day. First thing in the morning, get up, do my morning wee. That maybe might help me lose a pound or so. I'm not someone that poos in the morning, but if you are a morning pooer, you might want to do that before you weigh yourself, because that could also drop a good few pounds. Then what I do is I take a note of the lowest weight reading from that week, and that is going to be the most accurate representation of what is actually happening with my body fat. My weight is going to fluctuate up and down throughout the week, particularly on the weekends, due to possibly more food volume and also water retention. Now, in terms of what I'm actually doing with my diet, the main thing I'm doing, which I don't do for the rest of the year, is starting to track calories. Now, I will track every single day, and I'm aiming to start off with for around 2,000 calories per day. That will put me in a deficit, but not an extreme deficit, so it gives me a lot more room to play with maybe as the diet goes on. If I want to kind of shift body fat along a little bit quicker, then maybe I'll go a little bit more extreme and won't have to stick to that for quite as long, so it doesn't feel as difficult. Now, come the weekends, at the moment, at the beginning of the diet, I'm picking one day over the weekend, which is going to be the more social day, or the day where we feel like eating out, or maybe we feel like ordering some food in, maybe we've got friends over, whatever it may be, then that is going to be 2,500 calories. Then probably as the diet goes on, before I look at reducing the weekday calories, I'll probably reduce that 2,500 when it gets to the point where my lowest weight of the week reading has stalled for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Then I'll look at reducing more. And this is just because you can go for a much heavier, stricter deficit and try and push fat along a lot faster if you feel like you're the sort of person that can stick to that for a long period of time. Now, personally, I would rather try not to get dieting fatigue too quick and try and stick at a reasonable deficit, which means that I'm still able to include certain things in my diet whilst gradually dropping body fat. Now, I don't track calories the rest of the year around. I eat, and I'm not really keen on the term, but I suppose you could maybe put it into the category of a little bit more intuitively. But that's because I've been someone that has been around the block several times, and I have a good understanding of myself, my appetite, dieting techniques, how to maintain a weight that I'm happy with. So throughout the rest of the year, I don't track calories. And this is where I think a lot of people go wrong when it comes to calorie tracking, is that they think if they're starting a diet tracking calories, wow, this is what the rest of my life is going to look like if I want to be at this weight. No, it's simply a tool. I will use it for the next 8 to 12 weeks maybe. As that diet goes on and I start to kind of eat a lot of the same things most of the time, and my days will look very similar, then I won't track on those days potentially, because I'm like, well, I pretty much ate the same as what I did yesterday, so I know that that's going to be around about the same amount of calories. But I like to do it whilst I'm actively trying to drop body fat like this for a short period of time, 12 weeks, because it holds me accountable by making sure that I'm actually actively tracking and doing that. That holds me accountable. Also, it just means that for peace of mind, I know that I'm where I need to be each day or thereabouts. Calorie tracking is never going to be 100% accurate, particularly if you're someone that tends to eat out a lot. If you're cooking at home, it's going to be more accurate than not, but it's all about accountability and getting you as close to that calorie target as you possibly accurately can. Now, in terms of my actual training, it doesn't really look that much different to how it does the rest of the year. I'm aiming to do 4 to 5 training days per week, focusing mainly on bodybuilding style stuff because that's what I enjoy and that's what I'm into at the moment. As well as that, I walk the dogs every single day and I have a step goal of 10k steps minimum. Anything over that is a bonus. Now, there might be days where maybe at the weekend I might exceed that by quite a bit, and then there might be the odd day during the week where I don't quite hit that 10k. But if you average everything out, I'm hitting roughly 10k steps. The one thing I have changed in regards to my training is where I'm training. So for a long time now, I've been training myself in the studio where I train clients. Because it was convenient, because it was easy, because I've got all the equipment here, because it doesn't cost me any money, because I could fit it in between clients really easy. And even if I was just at home with me and the kids can come down here and I can still get a workout in even when I'm solely in charge of the kids. And actually I think it's quite a good thing because they too then get involved, do it, see dad doing it, it becomes normal. Hopefully it becomes a habitual thing for them when they're older and they start doing exercise as well. But what I've actually done this time around is I've joined the local gym purely because it's like doing something that you really enjoy doing, like a hobby. Like I enjoy exercising and working out in the place where you also work every day. So because the studio is set up at home, it also means that I would barely leave the house apart from maybe going to do the school run or to like the supermarket or something. So I decided to join the local gym to change my environment. Now, not that I'm necessarily chatting away or talking to people in there. I'll be in there with my headphones on, but it's just going somewhere different to do my workouts. And what I've found is just by being in the gym and being around other people, even though I'm not actually communicating with any of them, is I'm training a lot harder. And I've gone there for that particular purpose. Right, I've got an hour, I've gone to the gym, this is what I'm training today. And it's more intense. I have a lot less rest times, a lot less distractions, because sometimes when I'm in here, I'll end up cleaning or tidying up, or I'll end up thinking of something like a video like this, and then I'll start writing things down for it and doing things to do at work. But when I go there, I do the workout, it's intense, I feel motivated and I feel like I push myself more because there are other people around you exercising, which is always quite motivating. And that's the only real difference to my training. Now, as the time goes by, as I want to start shifting body fat more, I might increase the amount of cardio that I'm doing. I might throw in some more running or throw in some like 20-30 minutes on a bike in the gym or something like that, just to increase my overall calorific output. Or I might just reduce my calories down. It depends what I feel like doing at the time. I might even do a combination of the both once I feel like my fat loss has stalled, or as I get closer to the holiday and closer to the end goal, to just try and push off as much of that last bit of body fat as possible. So that's it. That's basically all I'm doing at the moment. The process is relatively simple. It's just about going, right, here's the goal, here's the end target, this is what I'm working towards. And this works really well in terms of I've got this goal, I've also put it out there and I'm documenting it and I've mentioned it on social media, so there's that extra accountability that this is what I'm trying to achieve. And you feel a bit stupid if you don't end up actually achieving it and you've told the world that that's what you're trying to do. But I always think it is quite good when it comes to actually dieting and trying to lose body fat, to have that goal and to understand that I'm doing this for 12 weeks. A diet is not a forever thing. People always talk about it needing to be sustainable. No, the actual fat loss phase of your diet does not need to be sustainable. What needs to be sustainable is when you move into a maintenance and now you're trying to maintain those results that you've just got. That is the sustainable part. And often actually that is the hardest part of dieting, because most people can lose body fat. They can get into a deficit, whether they're doing it the best way or not. People can do it. But it's once they get to their goal, that is where a lot of the time most people struggle, because they now don't know how to maintain that. So once I get to this holiday, once I've got to that goal, I'll then be focusing a little bit more on maintenance and probably be going a bit more into kind of like a muscle building phase. So thinking more about now, trying to grow more muscle and be bigger by the time next summer comes around. Along with that, I'll probably gain back a little bit more of that body fat. I'm content with that. I'm happy with that, that come the winter, maybe I'll gain a little bit of body fat back, knowing, look, come the summer again, I'll strip that back down. I don't think I'm ever really going to be the kind of person that has a six pack all year round. Who knows? This year might be the difference. But so far, especially since becoming a dad, because, you know, me, myself and I is not the number one priority anymore like it was when I was like in my 20s, and it was a lot easier to stay lean and shredded all year round because I had a lot less stresses. Could get a full night's sleep, which very rarely happens now, and I could, if I was going to the gym, I would go to the gym, whereas now I might intend to go to the gym today, but then something could happen with one of the kids, or I need to be somewhere, so that can't actually happen anymore. I'm content with that now. So this is what I'm doing right now to try and change my summer body. And if you want to follow along on the journey, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be documenting parts of this throughout the next 12 weeks or so leading up to my holiday. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.